Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel, where you will discover how to stay strong, healthy, and active at any age. The most powerful tool to build muscle and strength after 50. It's not what you think. What if I told you that one of the most powerful tools you have for building muscle, getting stronger, and staying fit after 50 isn't a supplement? It's not protein. It's not creatine. It's not the latest workout program. It's your mindset. And I believe this is one of the biggest things holding people back as they get older. Because if you constantly tell yourself, "I'm too old for this," you've already created a problem before you even walk into the gym. I'm 62 years old, and I've learned something very important. Your body may have changed with age, but that doesn't mean you've reached the end of what your body can do. And today, I want to explain why the way you think about yourself after 50 can make a huge difference in what you actually achieve. Your mind can be your biggest limitation. Let's be honest. At some point after 50, you start hearing the same messages everywhere. You're getting older. Muscle loss is just part of aging. You can't train like you used to. You're too old to get seriously strong. And eventually, you can start believing them. You wake up one morning and think, "I'm 55, I'm 60, I'm 65. Maybe this is just how I'm supposed to be now." And that's where the problem begins. Because when you believe you're too old to get stronger, you stop challenging yourself. You train less. You don't push yourself. You stop paying attention to your nutrition. You don't recover properly, and little by little, you become exactly what you told yourself you were going to become. That's the power of mindset. Now, I'm not saying that simply thinking about having bigger muscles will magically make your muscles grow. Of course not. You still have to train. You still have to eat properly. You still need enough protein, recovery, and sleep. But your mindset determines whether you actually do those things consistently. Your mind controls your actions, and your actions, repeated over time, change your body. Stop beating yourself before you start. Here's something I want you to think about. Imagine two men walk into a gym. They're both 60 years old. They have similar genetics, similar experience, and similar opportunities. The first man looks around and thinks, "I'm 60. I'm never going to look like these younger guys." So he chooses light weights. He doesn't challenge himself. He skips workouts when he doesn't feel motivated. He tells himself that getting weaker is simply part of getting older. The second man walks in and thinks, "I'm 60. I'm going to see how strong I can become at 60." That's a completely different mindset. He's not trying to become 25 again. He's not competing with a 25-year-old. He's competing with who he was yesterday. He focuses on improving. One more repetition, a little more weight, better technique, better nutrition, better recovery. And 6 months later, those two men could look completely different. Not because one of them discovered a magic supplement, but because they started with different beliefs. The first man defeated himself before he even started. The second man gave himself a chance. And that's the message I want you to take from this video. Don't defeat yourself in your mind before your body ever gets the opportunity to improve. Change the question. There's a simple mental shift that can completely change the way you approach fitness after 50. Instead of asking, "What can I no longer do because I'm getting older?" Start asking, What can I still improve? That's a completely different question. Maybe you can't lift what you lifted at 30. That's okay. Maybe you need more recovery than you did at 25. That's okay too. Maybe you have to train smarter. Good. Getting older doesn't mean giving up. It means adapting. Your goal isn't to prove that you're still 25. Your goal is to become the strongest, healthiest version of yourself at your current age. And that's something you can work toward. Think about it. If you're 52, your goal is to be stronger and healthier at 53. If you're 62, your goal is to be stronger and healthier at 63. If you're 72, you can still work toward being stronger and more capable at 73. There is always room for improvement. Your identity matters. There's another part of mindset that I think is extremely powerful. It's the way you identify yourself. Don't constantly say, "I'm an old man. I'm getting weak. I'm too old to build muscle. My body doesn't work anymore." Instead, start thinking, "I'm someone who trains. I'm someone who takes care of my body. I'm someone who wants to stay strong. I'm someone who doesn't quit just because I'm getting older." That sounds like a small difference, but it isn't. Because when you change the way you see yourself, you change the decisions you make. If you see yourself as someone who trains, you are more likely to train. If you see yourself as someone who eats to support your body, you're more likely to make better food choices. If you see yourself as someone who values strength, you're more likely to protect and build that strength. Your behavior starts to match your identity. And over time, those behaviors become your lifestyle. Believe in the possibility. Now, I want to be very clear about something. Mindset isn't magic. You can't sit on the couch and tell yourself you're going to build muscle. You have to do the work. But you have to believe that the work is worth doing. Because if you believe improvement is possible, you're willing to put in the effort. And if you believe it's impossible, why would you even try? That's why I believe one of the most important things you can do after 50 is to believe in the possibility of improvement. Maybe you want more muscle. Maybe you want to become stronger. Maybe you want to lose some body fat. Maybe you want to feel confident taking your shirt off again. Maybe you simply want to stay strong enough to live independently for as long as possible. Whatever your goal is, start with the belief, "I can improve." You don't have to believe you'll become perfect. You don't have to believe you'll become the strongest person in the gym. Just believe, "I can get better." That's enough to get started. My own experience. And this is something I can speak about personally. I'm 62, and today I have more muscle, more strength, and better overall fitness than I had when I was younger. Did that happen because I discovered some secret? No. I trained. I learned how to eat better. I learned the importance of recovery. I became more consistent. But perhaps most importantly, I stopped thinking that getting older meant I had to accept becoming weaker. I decided that I wanted to see what I could accomplish. And that's the mindset I want you to have. Don't ask yourself, "How old am I?" Ask yourself, "What am I capable of becoming?" So if you're over 50 and you're thinking about starting or starting again, I want you to remember this. Your age is a number. It tells you how many years you've been alive. It does not tell you how much potential you have left. Don't tell yourself, I'm too old. Tell yourself, I'm not done. Don't say, I can't get stronger. Say, let's see how strong I can become. And don't wait until you feel motivated. Make the decision first, then take action. Because your mindset won't build the muscle for you, but your mindset can determine whether you ever give yourself the opportunity to build it. So train your body, feed your body, recover, get stronger, but most importantly, train your mind. Because after 50, one of the most powerful things you can say to yourself is simply, I can still get better. I'm 62, and I'm not finished yet. And neither are you. If you believe that, you're already taking the first step. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and turn on notification so you never miss future videos on healthy aging, exercise, and nutrition. Until next time, stay strong and stay active.